Welcome to Subramani. Uh, People don't normally come to me for career counseling if they're going abroad. But this boy came to me and said, "How is the US doing?" And I was really amused. I didn't know what to tell him. How is the US doing? Because how is the image depends on how is the mirror, right? So when you look into a mirror, if the mirror is broken, if the mirror is unclean, you will see an unclean image. So when he asked me how is the US doing, I said, look, the question is whom you ask. If I ask some of my friends who are there, who are part of the American dream, who all went 30-40 years ago, they're living in those big American mansions, driving German cars, one of them even has a private jet. Obviously they are doing very well, and they have no clue how some parts of America are doing. So is America doing well? Of course it is doing well. There is no doubt about that. There are unicorns coming out of every corner. People are making money, people are getting rich, people have houses which you can't even imagine, the size of house, the beauty of the house and all that. And these are people who sit with the ESOPs worth $1 million, $10 million, etc. I mean, I know one person with more than $50 million. So yes, these people have done extremely well. They have ridden the American boom right through the 70s, 80s, 90s. They have invested in American stocks. They have made money there. So obviously they are doing very well, and they are not going to see that America has a problem. But if you see kids who have gone, let's say 5-7 years back, they have a problem because they have debt. They are not very sure about their student debt. They are not very sure about the jobs. They are not very sure that their career prospects and growth prospects are good. They are in some parts where there is lawlessness, there is homelessness, there is falling scores in education, there is wokeism in universities. And believe me, these are the universities which created these exceptionally rich immigrants. An immigrant in the US who has got rich, let's talk of Indians, it is obviously because of their education. It is obviously because of the scholarship system which exists in US, which continues to exist. It's not that it has gone away. And because of which these people have hit these exceptional successes. There is no doubt about that. The quality of education, infrastructure, etc. was fantastic. But these colleges which have a minuscule percentage of kids in arts, etc. are today creating such a ruckus. I mean, who thought Columbia, Penn, Harvard, Yale will all go through so much of turmoil, right? All these are big colleges. They are very good in STEM education. Who wants to do liberal arts education there? You don't need a Harvard degree to teach you Indian culture and Indian ethics and Indian morality and things like that. You could teach them a thing or two. But STEM education, maybe management education, maybe accounting education, definitely they are miles ahead of what we have in our country. We are not willing to spend so much time and effort in that kind of education. Especially accounting, finance research, personal finance research, we don't have those kind of budgets. So I don't want to talk about medicine and other things, but I'm sure their education system is awesome. But it is the same education system where wokeism will say, oh, you need not hold exams. Putting exams is putting kids through a lot of stress. You will see homelessness, you will see a lot of poverty, you will see courts ruling that anything less than $900 if it is stolen, don't even bother to complain. You will see flight of capital. The next 20-30 years for the US, you will see all this. You will see flight of capital of people moving out to places with better markets, right? So that will happen. So is the past 30 years an indicator of the next 30 years? No. Is America going on a decline? Answer is yes and no. There is one part which says, oh, look at the technology companies, look at ChatGPT, look what they can do. That is absolutely true. One part of US is shining and shining brightly. There is no way how such big companies can be created in other parts of the world unless those countries also have 60,000 to $70,000 per capita income, right? So risk capital is available only in a country with $50,000 per capita income, not in a country with $2,000 per capita income. So stop asking these stupid questions, why we don't have a Google, why we don't have a Facebook. For every successful company you see, some 10, 20, 40, 50, 100,000 companies must have gone down the drain. That is not visible. That kind of risk capital will not be available in India, will not be available in smaller countries, right? So if it's not available, let's say India, Brazil, etc., there will be some risk capital available, but not that kind which is needed, right? Failure has a huge stigma in India. Failure does not have such a huge stigma in US, which means people are more willing to experiment. And because of the great quality of universities and professors, etc., that they have and that they have marketed so well, it is impossible to stop our kids from dreaming about Harvard and Yale education. There is, but I wouldn't even put Yale in the same level today. But all these colleges are also having problems of anti-Palestine and anti-Israel and all those things happening, fights in campus, right? All the ruckus that is happening. So that is also true. So just like India, a lot of things are true about America, and whatever is true about America, the opposite is also true. Does America attract the best talent in the world? The answer is yes. All over the world, people want to go to US to get educated, make money, etc. Will this fad go away in 5, 10, 20, 30 years? Maybe yes, but it's very difficult to predict today, right? In 1975 or 1980, if somebody had told you, don't go to US, there were great opportunities, there are great opportunities in India, he may not have been so right. But if somebody had told you in 1991, don't go to US, there are great opportunities in India, the truth is yes, there were great opportunities in India, there are great opportunities in India, there is risk capital available, right? But we are not really in the same league as US as far as risk capital, as far as opportunities, etc. are concerned. So it's a mixed bag. So maybe 30 years back it was, it was an easy question to answer. You just qualified and say, look, I'm an IT professional, should I be in India, should I be in US? Chances are in US you would have made more money. Today if you're a doctor, lawyer, chartered accountant, IT professional, whatever, will you need to go to US? Maybe not, because earlier things were expensive, buying things was more difficult, right? So today I think every 30-year-old has a car and fridge and maybe even a housing partly funded by parents already, right? So are you going for material comforts? Are you going for challenges? Do you want to make an international career? Then maybe studying in the US makes sense. If you are happy staying in India and you're happy making a career in India, you think you want to stay with your parents, with your extended family, etc., then maybe India is not such a bad option after all, because you can still have help, household helps, drivers and all that in India, which you won't get there. So both have their plus and minuses. I wouldn't say that there is no problem living in the US. You're constantly worried. I know one person who shifted from US to Canada because of the gun problem, saying, I don't know if some mad kid would open fire in the school and my kid would die. Those are real concerns in the US. In India, the concerns could be different. So you have to make your choice. Right now, I am divided. I would say 60% staying in India makes sense, 40% going to US makes sense. But it's your call. Thank you.